So good evening, my beautiful YouTube family. I am very happy to say that we are awake another day today. So for today's agenda, I thought it'd be nice to take you along with one of my greatest friends, Cris, and we're going to be going down to one of our local lake spots here in town, and we're going to be painting the scenery and enjoying the view, listening to the water, and really just enjoying each other's company. As far as painting the scenery, I have to throw it out there. I'm not the greatest painter, and I haven't had that much practice with it, but I do want to say it is more about the experience and not so much about the painting. And that'll also teach me not to try and get caught up with the whole perfectionist thing. So I really hope you enjoy this, and I hope that if your week or whatever has been stressful, I do hope that this video serves as some serenity and peace to you. I also thought it'd be a really nice idea to also incorporate and share some of the excerpts from a really beautiful book that I purchased a while back. This was a book that when I first started my therapy, I had a life coach recommend this book to me, so I purchased it, and it's called The Untethered Soul: The Journey Beyond Yourself by Michael Singer. It's a beautiful book that takes you on a really, really nice journey through spirituality. So there's a few excerpts in here that I'd love to share with you. There's an excerpt that says, "To live at this level of freedom, you must learn not to be afraid of inner pain and disturbance. As long as you are afraid of the pain, you will try to protect yourself from it. The fear will make you do that. If you want to be free, simply view inner pain as a temporary shift in your energy flow. There is no reason to fear this experience. You must not be afraid of rejection, or of how you would feel if you got sick, or if someone died, or if something else went wrong. You cannot spend your life avoiding things that are not actually happening, or everything will become negative. All you will end up seeing is how much can potentially go wrong. Do you have any idea how many things can cause inner pain and disturbance? Probably more than there are stars in the sky. If you want to grow and be free to explore life, you cannot spend your life avoiding the myriad things that might hurt your heart or your mind." The reason why I noted that excerpt is because I truly feel like that was speaking directly to me. I am someone that has lived my entire life bottled up in my comfort zone, unwilling to step out of it, unwilling to challenge myself, unwilling to try new things because of the plethora of things that can go wrong in any situation. But I think that reading this really showed me how much I've actually been stopping myself from reaching my potential. And I wanted to share that with you just in case, because I do know, and I actually have a lot of confidence that there are a lot of individuals that are living life the way that I have been, afraid of life, afraid of change, afraid of new things. So this excerpt is really saying, if you live in fear of things that are not actively going wrong, you are robbing yourself of so much life, so much potential. And I think that's something that I really, really want people to understand. It's something that I'm still actively trying to learn. It is a process, but the thing is, life is going to go on either way. Time is going to go on either way. So you can spend that time being afraid, trying to shield yourself, or you can spend that time going out, adventuring, and trusting that what you have learned in your life is going to prepare you if and when bad things happen. This next excerpt talks a little bit more about happiness and the choice of happiness. It's a little bit longer. It says, "Billions of things could happen that you haven't even thought of yet. The question is not whether they will happen. Things are going to happen. The real question is whether you want to be happy regardless of what happens. The purpose of your life is to enjoy and learn from your experiences. You were not put on earth to suffer. You're not helping anybody by being miserable. Regardless of your philosophical beliefs, the fact remains that you were born and you are going to die. During the time in between, you get to choose whether or not you want to enjoy the experience. Events don't determine whether or not you're going to be happy. They're just events. You determine whether or not you're going to be happy. You can be happy just to be alive. You can be happy having all these things happen to you and then be happy to die. If you can live this way, your heart will be so open and your spirit will be so free that you will soar up to the heavens. In the end, enjoying life's experiences is the only rational thing to do. You're sitting on a planet spinning around in the middle of absolutely nowhere. Go ahead, take a look at reality, because you're floating in empty space in a universe that goes on forever. If you have to be here, at least be happy and enjoy the experience. You're going to die anyway. Things are going to happen anyway. Why shouldn't you be happy? You gain nothing by being bothered by life's events. It doesn't change the world, you just suffer. There's always going to be something that can bother you if you let it. This choice to enjoy life will lead you through your spiritual journey. In truth, it is itself a spiritual teacher. Committing yourself to unconditional happiness will teach you everything there is to learn about yourself, about others, and about the nature of life. You will learn all about your mind, your heart, and your will, but you have to mean it when you say that you'll be happy for the rest of your life. Every time a part of you begins to get unhappy, let it go. Work with it. Use affirmations or do whatever you need to do to stay open. If you are committed, nothing can stop you. No matter what happens, you can choose to enjoy the experience. No matter what happens, just enjoy the life that comes to you. That is another excerpt that I enjoyed because, and actually very recently, currently I'm taking a class called Positive Psychology, and it's basically exactly what it sounds like. One of the things that I have come to realize from that class is that happiness is and always will be a choice. If you're someone that thinks, as long as I buy this, I'll be happy, or the moment I get to buy this bigger car or bigger house, then I'll be happy. The fact of the matter is, if you're unhappy before that car, you'll probably get happy when you buy it. However, that unhappiness will begin to seep in because you'll start looking at a better car. You'll start looking at a better house. Happiness really is a choice. There are people that have close to nothing. They don't have a big house. They don't have a big family. But they have somebody, and they're the happiest people on earth. And you have millionaires that are extremely depressed. They are very unhappy. That's how you know that happiness is a choice. Happiness cannot depend on anything except for yourself. Life, just like the book said, life is going to happen. There are things that are going to happen to you. But you do not have to let those events define or dictate your happiness. You always have to remember the one thing no one can ever take from you is your choice to be happy and your choice to choose your attitude. So this next excerpt does mention God, and I do want to throw it out there that when I say God in this excerpt, I mean really a higher being, and regardless of your beliefs, we all have to believe in something, whether it's God or a specific God or life or nature or universe. Wherever you think we came from, even if you think we came from nothing, then I'm talking about the nothingness that you believe in. So just fill in whatever you believe in with the word God with what I'm about to read. Do you want to know how God looks upon this world? Do you want to know how he feels about different kinds of people? Then look at the sun. Does the sun shine more brightly on a saint than on anyone else? Is the air more available to the saint? Does the rain fall on one neighbor's trees more than another's? You can turn your eyes from the sun's light and live in darkness for 100 years. If you then turn them toward the light is still there. It is there for you just the same as for the person who has enjoyed its brilliance for 100 years. All of nature is like this. The fruit on the tree willingly gives itself to everyone. I have never known why I was so drawn to the outdoors and nature. I know I've always loved it. I've just never known why. I've never been able to explain it. Until I saw this movie called Afterwards. Jenna Ortega comes out in it. But at the end of the movie, it's a really beautiful film. At the end of the movie, they put a quote by Anne Frank, and it's one of my all-time favorite quotes. And it goes, "The best remedy for those who are afraid, lonely, or scared, I think, is to go outside where you can be one with nature and you can feel one with God and feel as though everything is okay." And it's not word for word, it's something along those lines. And ever since I read that quote, that is how I've always felt about going outside. I've never been able to put it into words until I read that quote, and I'm like, that is exactly how I feel every time I come out here. I truly feel the closest to God when I'm here. And I feel like everyone's relationship with God is different. Whether you believe in God or universe or whatever you believe in. But some people go to church to feel close to God. Some people pray to feel close to God. This is my way to feel close to God. And I've always felt so disconnected because I feel like I don't know how to pray. I don't know how to go to church. I don't know how to do certain things. But this is how I can really feel closest to a higher being. It's surrounded by his creations, you know what I mean? Do any of the forces of nature differentiate? Does anything in God's creation, other than the human mind, actually pass judgment? Nature just gives and gives to whoever will receive. Should you choose not to receive, it doesn't punish you. You punish yourself because you choose not to receive. If you say to the light, I will not look at you, I'm going to live in darkness, the light just keeps shining. If you say to God, I don't believe in you and I want nothing to do with you, creation continues to sustain you. Your relationship with God is the same as your relationship with the sun. If you hide from the sun for years and then chose to come out of your darkness, the sun would still be there shining as if you had never left. You don't need to apologize. You just pick your head up and look at the sun. It's the same way when you decide to turn away from God. You just do it. If instead you allow guilt and shame to interfere, that's just your ego blocking the divine force. You can't offend the divine one. Its very nature is light, love, compassion, protection, and giving. You can't make it stop loving you. It's just like the sun. You can't make the sun stop shining on you. You can only choose not to look at it. The moment you do look, you'll see it's there again. The beauty is that you can experience this ecstasy, and when you begin to feel this joy, that's when you'll know God's nature. Then nobody will upset or disappoint you. Nothing will create a problem. It will all appear as part of the beautiful dance of creation unfolding before you. Your natural state will get higher and higher. You'll feel love instead of shame. Instead of being unwilling to lift your eyes to the divine because of what you've said or done, you'll see the divine as a place of unconditional refuge. Contemplate this and let go of the idea of a judgmental God. You have a loving God. In truth, you have love itself for a God. And love cannot do other than love. Your God is in ecstasy, and there's nothing you can do about it. And if God is in ecstasy, I wonder what he sees when he looks at you. I think the reason why I enjoy that specific excerpt is because the metaphor that it used for the sun, I don't know why or what, but I have always had a weird connection with the sun. I love being in the sun. I love seeing the sunshine. I love sunsets. I love sunrises. They symbolize so much for me, and I think the metaphor of the sun shining on people equally, that's one thing I've learned from the sun is I want to love people the same way that the sun shines on individuals. It shines on everyone equally, and it's just like the book said, if someone chooses not to receive that sunshine, aka someone chooses not to receive my love will still be there for them if they need it. The same way the sunshine will always be there when you're ready to receive it again. I think that's something a lot of people can learn from. Loving people unconditionally, not being judgmental, not being selective with all that you can give to somebody. The sun doesn't see faces, it doesn't see past history. It is so unconditional with its sunshine that it will give and give and give, and that is all it does. It rises in the morning and it's ready to give some more, and that is truly how I aspire to be with my love and my kindness. I just want to give as much as I can until it's my time to leave this world. But as long as I am here on this world, that is exactly how I choose to be. That is exactly how I want to choose to be. I really enjoyed spending this time with you. This was much needed for the week that I've had. It's always these moments out here that I really, really enjoy being alive. I really, really enjoyed being awake today. I really hope you did as well. I really hope you know that I love you. Never forget that. And I truly hope to see you in the next video. I'm craving Sonic after this.